Exercise. This is going to be completely full of excuses. So if you're looking for motivation to start exercising, skip through to the end. Probably like 8 minutes or so, because I'm going to rant a lot. Dad bod versus skinny fat. This is something I've been dealing with for 4 years since Cora was born. Why don't I have a dad bod?
So lanky cunt.
I've always been a string bean. I'm 6'3", fluctuate between 72 kilograms when I'm stressed, 78 kilograms when I'm not. But I don't think I've ever cracked the 80 odd kilograms, which is kind of the preferred weight for my height.
Should have gone to heaven, but he went the other way, singing down, down, down. Oh!
I definitely have tried to put on weight. I went to visit some friends in America for about a month and ate as much junk food as I could. And the only thing that changed was I put on a bit of a belly, and that disappeared within a couple of weeks of coming back and getting back into my working lifestyle in Australia.
So much fun.
It's so annoying because I get really cold in the ocean. And for someone who specializes in ocean photography or videography, it's a bit of an issue. I used to be super fit. When I was working on the fishing boats, it was such a physical job where some days would be shoveling 20, 25 tons of pilchards into the ocean to feed the tuna, picking up a shovel full of fish and flinging it some 10 or 15 meters into the ocean so the tuna can have a feed. You do that every single day for 3 months, you're gonna get ripped. At the same time as working on fishing boats, I was just hooked on surfing these heavy reefs. Being tall was such an advantage because it meant I could stretch out and scoop down the face of these heaving waves. And, it was better than just airdropping to the bottom and skipping out and getting worked.
Table. Oh!
Having such an active day job where I was actually getting paid to stay fit and get strong, and then having my surfing pursuits, which was advantageous to be strong and flexible, was a good combination for my lanky body size. Then, when I started shooting underwater, I was underwater for somewhere between 3 and 6 hours a day. I was shooting the playful beach breaks or the really heavy days as well, just to get the contrast. So having that kind of fast sprint rate of being able to swim under waves, definitely an advantage, and meant that I had a pursuit to be fit and active for. Don't worry, this isn't my fitness selfie video. There's actually a point to this, which I'll get to in a minute. But the third time that I can remember being super fit was when I was living in Sydney in the van, freelancing. I found myself getting really, really lazy, which is funny because the buzz of Sydney's early morning beaches is so addictive, and that's actually something I miss right now. That first half hour when the sun comes up over the ocean and everyone's just energized. So I kind of laugh now, but it was a really fun time when I joined a group fitness boot camp. It was really good to get that buzz of everyone trying to achieve their own goals. And this was all pre being a dad, where I had as much time as I wanted. All the jobs that I was working were very flexible. I could pretty much do whatever I wanted to do, which has changed since having kids. And I'm saying that while looking at the clock because I've got to pick up the kids in an hour and a half. Which brings me to my next point of excuses. I'm too tired from being up all night with the kids. It's a pretty full-on day with the kids tomorrow, so I'm just going to sleep in today to make use of my energy. No, babe, it's fine. I'll hang with the kids so you can go to the gym. That's my favourite one because not only do you get brownie points, but you also get out of going to the gym. It's perfect. I have tried to stay fit while having kids. I've got a whole room full of gym equipment in there. I don't use it. I don't surf anymore because the waves around here aren't that good. But the activity I do now is downwind foiling. Not many people do it around here because it's so bloody hard. It's been touted as the Formula One of ocean sports. You paddle a kilometre out to sea when it's windy, turn down the breeze and head as far down the coast as you want. It's changed my whole outlook on the ocean plus surfing. You're just standing there on this hydrofoil and it's doing all the work. It's like the best sport I've ever done, but has also ruined me. I did a run yesterday. It was only 7 kilometers, and I probably paddled maybe 20 times, just cruising with the bumps. As always, springtime comes around and you reevaluate your life, dust the cobwebs off your body after winter and think, right, I'm going to get fit this time. Being freelance, I should have as much time in the world to do this. When the kids are with their grandma, Millie's at work, I'm here, I'm either editing or planning for the next project or doing a personal series. And those 3 things I can put aside for an hour, anytime, and focus on my fitness. I find myself wondering how other dads manage to schedule their fitness even with kids and a wife and a mortgage. My good mate in Sydney, Bo, has had his fair struggle with fitness throughout the years. He asked me to take a photo of him in the ocean without his shirt on, so that photo could be the catalyst for him to lose weight and live life a different way. Since that photo, he's done countless marathons and a couple of triathlons, and over the last year his fitness has slipped and is now documenting his journey of getting back to 100% to do a triathlon. So I reached out to Bo to ask how him and Ali schedule their fitness pursuits while still maintaining their family unit.
Basically, start with a weekly plan. If you sit down and break the days down into your 7 days and have a look and add the non-negotiables, which is pretty easy to work out your non-negotiables. It's work or school, whatever the priority is, including travel time. Lock that in, block that out. Make that crystal clear. That's your non-negotiables. And then you can start adding things in. You can kind of find holes. And I'm a morning person for the reason that if I train of an afternoon, it gives me probably 10 to 12 hours of being awake to think of an excuse. And I get pretty creative with my excuses. 5 a.m. is a beautiful time to get up and train. And I know that's a time that doesn't affect my family time, doesn't affect things like that. But not everyone can train at 5 a.m. So you find what works for you. But then we also have to, if I'm taking 3 mornings a week out at 5 a.m. to go for an hour and a half or to go do something, it's finding another 3 times of the week that Ali can go do her thing and helping her. It's just as vital for her to go and train and find that balance with your partner and work through your weekly plan. And you start to learn as you're going through your weekly plan, like, oh, that didn't work because I needed the car at this time for this reason, or that didn't work because of this. And then you can kind of come back and reflect on it, and you can refine it to the point that we've got ours down to a crossover now of like 15 minutes. I walk in the door in my cycling gear and Allie's out the door in her Pilates gear, and I make Duke's lunches the days that I train of the morning, and vice versa. We rotate through, so it's it's that effective teamwork.
Being freelance and in between jobs, I have more time than I know what to do with. Up until now, I've filled that time with stuff that hasn't benefited my fitness. I'm noticing as I go into my 40s, stuff's starting to hurt. And my biggest fear is not being able to play with the kids because I was sitting down for too long editing or sitting down making YouTube videos that take way longer than I had anticipated. Freelance to fatherhood is basically my journey of keeping up with the kids, and I'm going to use Bo's scheduling tips as motivation to make sure that my body is strong enough so that I can keep up with the kids as they grow up and become stronger and faster than I ever was.
First trip to the bridge.